what is the biggest problem you feel is facing the city, and what specifically would you do if elected to solve that? And this is the same question for all the candidates, by the way.
Our financial situation in the city cannot keep going on the way it is. And I thought that this administration, from the mayor to the council, took steps in the appropriate direction when they hired Humboldt and Associates back in 2008 when Mayor Szostek took office. And today we find ourselves in debt that we can't control. And through the years, we paid Humboldt and Associates over $500,000 to tell us how to go broke. Our water's gone up, sewer rates gone up, our infrastructure is dying. On a positive note, we need to stop our spending. We need to get the Little League back in town. Those are our kids. Let's get them out of Hobart, whatever it takes, let's do it. We spent $1.5 million on that Field of Dreams. Let's use it. It's our field, we paid for it. And in turn, what Gary Szostek said, we are doing what we're supposed to do. We're paying taxes, and we want our bang for our buck, but we don't want to be tied down until the year 2030 for the new building, or 2035, 20 years from now for the water department. So for whatever reason, they put the new structure up there. We can all get together and hold hands and say how good things are or how bad things are. But if I'm elected, I won't put my head in the sand. I won't turn a cheek. When you come to the council meeting, I'll give you an answer. Not roll my eyes and say, we'll find out. And that's what's happened in the past. I will watch the budget. We'll make sure the streets are plowed, your leaves are picked up. You can go to the compost yard with your brush. You can go to the city with your garbage. You can keep the city clean and be proud of it. I've been proud of it all my life. I'm 60 years old now. I live on 51, and I'm not going anywhere, regardless of what some people might want me to do. I like it here, and that's why I live here. If I wanted to move to Munster and I wanted to pay high taxes, like Munster people do, I'd move to Munster. But I live in Lake Station, and I'm proud of it. Thank you.
Do you want me to repeat the question?
Yes, please.
Okay, what do you feel is the biggest problem facing the city right now, and what would you specifically do to help solve that problem if elected?
There's so many problems, it's hard to pick one. I think that one of the reasons that I got involved in the Crime Watch program was that there's a lot of problem with young children not being supervised, being involved with drugs, and there's a big drug problem in the city. I would like to expand the Crime Watch program to be more well-known and participated in so that we can help solve that problem and work with the police department to get that done and to get rid of our reputation as being, a place where you can get away with stuff like that. Also, I think that we have a lot of problems with the vacant buildings and the problems with the roads. And I would push for anything that we can do to get them fixed. Budgeting or laws, whatever we have to do to get that taken care of. I think those are the main things.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Shockley, what is the biggest problem you feel is facing the city, and what would you specifically do if elected to solve that or help solve that?
I'd have to say micromanaging, coming from the top. Let the department heads do their job. Meet with them, and which they already do that part, but let them figure out and help with the budget. The department heads are there for a reason. They know their job. They're supposed to know their job. Let them figure out. Don't be calling them saying, oh, it's already done. That's not going to fix anything. The water treatment plant's supposed to be online. I'd have to say I'm always available. I work straight days. I'm off on weekends, but evening time I'm always available. Not afraid to return a phone call. So, willing to get out there and help. Mr. Evans, emphasized on it earlier, get out there and help. You know, don't, why drag on and waste more time? Go out there and help get the residents involved. If they want to help, let them help. We have plenty of things here that we still can move forward on. So, let the residents get involved.
Okay, great. Thank you. Mr. Szostek, the biggest problem facing the city and what you would do or to help solve it?
I'm kind of at a disadvantage. I'm the only incumbent up here. We still have a lot of problems. We've been addressing the problems with the filtration plant, with the Field of Dreams, with Grand Boulevard Lake. The biggest problem probably facing and has been facing Lake Station and the whole society as a whole. A lot of people are apathetic. They just don't get involved. They don't care. You get a lot of things misinterpreted. But I think that's a big problem. And I think Lake Station is not that big. We all know everyone. I know most of you people out here. You know me. And you can always call me and I can call you to get it straightened out. But I think along with that problem is, and people have said that, is the vacant buildings. Again, society, we all have the vacant buildings. It takes money to rectify this problem, and every other city is trying to do the same thing. As far as Mr. Bush was saying, the money, the situation, whatever, I can't speak for everyone, but I know that my property taxes did go down this past year. Our budget for the past 7 years has decreased, not dramatically, but we have less money to work with, and we just have to figure out how to do as much as we can with as little as we can. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to go through one more question, and it involves the community involvement. So, what activities in the community have you been involved in outside, beyond if you're in the council or running for office? And how do you feel like that helps you or prepares you to be the council at large? So, Mr. Bush.
First of all, I'm a Christian. I'm head of my security at my church, which has 1,500 members. I believe the safety of those people is priority number one. In Lake Station, I sponsored a Little League team, my business did. When the umbrella of disbelief was with the Little League, I believe that the Little League is a good place to start building this town back up, because I remember when the Lake Station, as small as it was, almost took state honors in baseball back in, I believe it was 1971, which is a feat that no one could do, and our Little League was good. When the groups come to me, we do supply the money. As far as my time goes, I've never coached a basketball team or a baseball team because I don't know too much about baseball. And you probably wouldn't want me teaching your kids how to play my way because I'm not very good. But I know my weaknesses and my strong points, and that's not one of them. But I know finance, I know trouble, I know honor, I know good police department when I see one. We've got good officers, we need good leadership. Our street department needs new trucks. We've got good people that work for our city. We just need to help them along best way we can. And a thank you goes a long way. Thank you.
Can we repeat the question?
Sure. Just to make sure I got it clear.
Oh, it's what specific things in the community have you been involved in? Clubs, organizations, volunteers, and how do you feel that they help prepare you for work in the as a council at large?
Well, about 25, 30 years ago, I got involved in several community organizations. One was the Deep River Nature Society, which was an environmental organization that we worked right here in town. We did cleanups, we had education programs, we worked with the Historical Society, and we set up a museum. That was very educational in itself. I also worked with other environmental organizations, which led me to work with the Solid Waste District, and got involved in recycling and that, because that was right about the time that we were having the landfill crises, and the cost of disposal was skyrocketing, so we had to come up with solutions. I worked with the schools and other organizations to give education programs to children about recycling and about the environment in general. I also worked with the Grand Cal Task Force and several other environmental organizations. I've been involved with the Historical Society. I work with Girl Scouts. I'm involved with the schools. I think all of it involves community involvement, and it's very educational and enlightening, you know, to say the least.
Okay, great. Thank you. Mr. Shockley?
In years past, when my boys were younger, coached Little League Baseball, I coached bitty basketball. Like I said, I've got 24 years on the fire department. I've run fundraising, probably half of that. Raised a lot of money for the fire department. And I guess that's about it as far as community organizations. Been trustee on the fire department for many years, so that entails, you know, handing out the gear and stuff like that. Nothing, but fire department's probably the biggest one. I mean, the fire department's been part of my life, over half my life, so 24 years. So I'd have to say that would probably be the biggest one.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Szostek?
I've been involved with the Little League organization for probably 10 years, not the past 3 or 4 years. I've been in the Lions Club, Historical Society. As I said previously, I have lived here all my life, and I got to know a lot of good people here. And has this helped me? Well, hopefully if the kids that I coached, who are 18 now, will vote for me, yeah.
Okay,